story starts with the death of a guy in an accident that was the god's fault. God sent a lovely goddess named Melfina to transport the man's soul to a world of games. In the game world, he also selects classes, skills, and skill points for himself. He switched his memories with the exceptional power Kelvin's character possessed. Therefore, his new persona will not be able to recall any incidents from his former existence. So he is now Kelvin. Melfina is a gaming panel in the new world, and it indicates that he belongs to the Summoner class. Kelvin is driven to the city of Parth by Melfina. When Kelvin gets there, he joins the Guild of Adventurers. Melfina tells Kevin not to disclose that his class is Summoner during registration, since there aren't many Summoners in the world, and if it were known that he's one, it would attract the attention of the world leaders. He receives rank F. As his first task, Kelvin decides to go on the prowl for slimes. Kelvin defeats a slime. He makes an agreement with the slime using his Summoner class. Kelvin names slime Clodo. He defeats the 3 slimes required to finish the quest with Clodo's assistance. Kelvin eventually becomes a Class E adventurer and is ready to tackle Class D tasks. Kelvin is advised to go on a D-class quest by an adventurer who identifies himself as Chassel. Then Kelvin proposes to Chassel a race to see who can defeat the Black Ghost Knight and finish the D-class task first. Gimel and Raj, who are part of Chassel's party and wish to attack Kelvin, reassemble. Clodo, who has transformed into a slime Glutonia, defeats Gimel. Kevin faces up against the Black Ghost Knight called Gerard after dispatching all of them. Gerard is finally vanquished by Kelvin with a powerful spell. Kelvin and Gerard made a deal. He will receive a special rank advancement. The guild has agreed. In the city of Parth, Kelvin encounters an elderly man named Leo who serves as the guild leader of the Adventurers Guild. Melfina and Gerard advise Kelvin to be friends with Leo. Leo admits that he had already interacted with the heroes of the Holy Empire of Daramis, who were beings from a different planet. Kelvin learns from Melfina that she had brought those heroes back to life. Leo claims that the recent flurry of monster activity is due to the impending appearance of the Demon King. Leo wants Kelvin to defend the city, and Kelvin understands this. Leo gives him certain advantageous conditions for Kelvin. Kelvin accepts Leo's proposal. The elf girl Kelvin had previously seen was taken by him. Kelvin chooses to purchase her. Ethel is her name. At the Adventurers Guild, they each get new abilities as they level up. Kelvin is going to receive a rank promotion according to Angie. Meanwhile, a demon has been discovered inside a dungeon, and Leo wants Kelvin to go investigate. In the dungeon, Kevin and his group spot a demon girl in the center of the place. She appears to be locked inside a mound of bones at the time. The demon girl is the daughter of the previous demon ruler Gustav, according to Victor, an archman. Victor reveals to them that in order to become a demon ruler, he needs to devour her and utilize Kelvin's power to release the demon girl. Kelvin is ecstatic to face Victor. In front of a smokescreen, Victor launches an assault against Kelvin and Gerard. Kelvin manages to break Victor's arms with the aid of his friends. Victor uses his body to stop a large boulder from falling on the imprisoned demon girl. Victor then admits the demon girl, called Sarah, had spent her whole childhood concealed in a house by her father, the demon ruler Gustav. A spell that sent Sarah on her path and sealed her was enacted the day the heroes murdered Demon Lord Gustav. Victor asks Kelvin to look after Sarah and take her on adventures. Victor passes away after saying those final words. The seal applied to Sarah is taken off by Kelvin. Sarah is wearing a garment that hides her demon characteristics. Gerard develops over this time and gains greater strength. After that, Sarah and Kelvin come to an agreement. The party members now have brand new armor and weapons thanks to Ethel. When Kelvin is asked by Ethel what he wants, rice is what Kelvin says he wants to eat. Turaj is a nation on the coast that Kelvin and his friends decide to visit. Sarah's desire to see the sea and the fact that Turaj is a rice-growing region are two of the motivations for the journey. Melfina informs Kelvin that she will be gone for a long time on the day of his rank promotion celebration, but she agrees to let Kelvin summon an avatar in her place. A band of robbers headed by women stop the wagon they're riding in on the route to Turaj. They're the Black Wind Gang. Sarah overcomes them pretty easily. They travel to the Turaj Adventurers Guild, where Mist, the guild master, awaits them. Mist informs them that Kristoff, the new head of Blackwind, has been abducting people and that he's a well-known adventurer in Trizin. Mist subsequently meets with the heroes to ask for assistance in defeating Kristoff. When Kelvin and his friends reach the Blackwind Gang's hideout, they effortlessly defeat Kristoff and his group. When the heroes enter the final chamber and spot Kristoff and his friends lying on the floor, they immediately assume that they're the rescuers. The heroes think they're the bandits until they reach another chamber and discover Kevin and his crew waiting for them. Kelvin had always intended to go up against the heroes. The 4 Imperial heroes, Toya, Satsuna, Mazoka, and Miyabi, face him. Kelvin teases the heroes and offers to battle them alone. A violent fight begins. Lethal blows and magical spells are exchanged between them. In the end, Kelvin prevailed. The heroes are then informed that Kelvin's crew is the party of adventurers that helped the slave girls and defeated the robbers. Toya concedes defeat and calls Kelvin his master. They must take off their clothes and put on swimwear, as instructed by Kelvin. He brings them to a marine cave to train. Kelvin points out that even if they battled the octopus, they had no chance against the demon lord or a boss in the dungeon. Toya claims that they would go into hiding to train and get stronger before returning to the battle. Kelvin asks Gerard about the Western continent, which is home to the elves that destroyed Gerard's country. Kelvin wonders whether they are powerful enough to exact retribution. Gerard is happy that Kelvin wants to help him. Meanwhile, they receive a summon from the Queen of Torridge. They go into the castle and salute the ruler. She offers to reward them as a thank you for helping to resolve the bandit problems, but Kelvin only wants part of her rice. Their request amuses the queen, who gives him a limitless supply of food. Kelvin eventually gets to eat some rice during their feast. Kevin purchases a new home for the party back in the city. He also employs Ellie and her daughter Luca, 2 of the slaves he emancipated, to work as domestic maids. Kelvin had a hard time adjusting to his new bed at night. He hurriedly stands up as he senses Melfina's avatar body returning. She informs him that he can now call her, and Kelvin does just that. She reveals to him through her angelic presence. Melfina gave Kelvin a gift as well. Melfina gave Kelvin the original talent. The first power of the original skill, which may only be used once per month, will make Kelvin invincible to death. This effect will automatically activate, so Kelvin should not worry. Second, Kelvin can use his own power to resurrect a hero from another world. The reincarnation of someone who has died on Earth was suggested to Kelvin by Melfina. Kelvin entered the stage of reincarnation. Then, when they finished choosing skills and allocating skill points, the person started to materialize in front of Kelvin and Ethel. Rio is the name of the 14-year-old girl. She was appreciative of getting another opportunity in life. Rio then thanked Kelvin for reincarnating him in a different universe. Rio went outside to take in the splendor of the fantastical world she had always imagined. After that, Kelvin came over and began chatting with Rio in the yard. Kelvin claims to be from Earth and that this reincarnation is identical to Rio's. However, Rio retained his memories of life on Earth, whereas Kelvin had lost them as a result of being sacrificed for the S-rank summoner class. Rio claims that she has always wished to live in a different world. Since childhood, Rio has suffered from chronic ailments and her life has always been in the hospital atmosphere. She didn't have any friends her age, attend school, go on vacation, or even play with them. Kelvin makes Rio her younger sister. Because the grandfather of the adventure guild leader in Potsy City had previously used the name Rio, Kelvin also intended to call her Ryan. Ryan, who in the previous world was an only child, is overjoyed to be Kelvin's little sister. Then Kelvin and his buddies made a pledge to help Ryan advance in this world by advising and guiding him. And that's all for now. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Consider subscribing to the channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to never miss another update from us. We'll catch up with you in the next video. Until then, let's wait for the next episode. For the next